Hello everyone, welcome to the episode of the BT Show. I'm here to do a non-spoiler review for episode 1 of The Penguin, the new DC show starring Colin Farrell as Penguin, of course taking place in the Robert Pattinson Batman universe. And I guess let's start right there. Like I said, non-spoiler review, so I'm not going to talk anything about this show. I will, talk about the Batman movie a little bit, but I'll try and do a non-spoiler if you haven't seen it. So first things first, go watch The Batman with Robert Pattinson if you haven't seen it. Obviously, this takes place in the same universe. The Penguin character does show up in that show, and so I definitely think it's worth it. A movie that I had a lot of issues with, but I still think it's a good movie overall, just not my type of Batman movie. But before I start talking about the show, I guess that's what I'm really curious about. As a DC fan who pretty much lives and breathes this stuff every day, it's easy for me to understand, okay, this is the Pattinson Batman universe. It's going to be its own trilogy. It's not going to be connected to the new James Gunn DC universe. That's easy for me to understand. Is someone who's just a casual fan of Batman, who just has an HBO Max subscription, who's like, hey, this looks like a pretty interesting show. I know the Penguin as a character, just because most people have heard of the character, who know it from the original show or from Danny DeVito or whatever. And I'm wondering, are they going to struggle when the new DCU comes, and if they introduce their own Penguin or their own villains? Are people going to struggle with the fact that this is its own universe? Are they going to be confused with the fact that Robert Pattinson isn't the Batman in the main DCU? And that's what I'm kind of curious about. Now, that being said, this is really the first prestige superhero show ever. When I say prestige, I mean made... the stuff on the networks like Titans and like Gotham, those are network TV. There's a lot of weaknesses there. There's not going to be cursing. There's not going to be nudity. Follows a very, very specific formula. And then we got a lot of animated shows and we got a lot of, movies, but we've really never gotten a week-by-week, good, well-made, adult, prestige, like an HBO style show. And it's just as good as I imagined. It's everything I wanted in a show. I guess the one spoiler, not really a spoiler because you can see from the trailer, but it's a little bit, you'll hear it a lot. It's not me the first person to say it, but like the Penguin as Tony Soprano. That's kind of the mold of the show. I don't think it's 100% accurate, but I think it's a little bit accurate. He's not the exact same character, but I definitely think that will be appealing to people. If you're a Sopranos fan, if you've just been like begging for some Tony Soprano, like content, I think this would be a great way to kind of just bridge the gap a little bit for you. Tony Soprano in the Batman world, Tony Soprano in Gotham, I think are all great pitches for a TV show. Is there going to be some weaknesses to the show? I don't think Batman will show up, but even if he doesn't, I think this is, what's interesting to me too, and I guess connected to this, is so many people rip on the Sony movies, which are way worse in this show, even though it's been one episode, you can just tell, like Morbius, and all of those, like Venom and all those kind of Spider-Man characters. Yet we get pretty much a very similar thing here, where we're getting a Batman villain and no chance of Batman showing up, yet everyone loves it. And I think it really just shows you the brand that HBO is. When the project is adult and it's not stupid and it's not kid, that gives you a lot of kind of goodwill. And because it's an adult project, I think a lot of people are willing to forget the no Batman part. When it becomes a childlike project, which is what Sony does, and makes it kind of silly, that's when I think a lot of people have a problem without the hero being there and kind of rip on it, which I find kind of interesting. But yeah, I thought this was a strong show. It kind of it's tough for me as someone who is obsessed with this stuff. I'm always thinking, like, what is this connected to? What does this lead to? Which is my own fault. I don't want to hold that against the show, but it's so hard for me to just watch a Penguin show and not think about, everything from the comic books and everything like that. However, I think this is a great iteration, great adaptation of the Penguin, a version that's never been shown before. I think it's great for HBO to be making these types of projects. Don't worry about what it connects to. Just make a really, really good show. And it just shows you, this is why I take so much offense to when people are saying that, actors are being wasted with superhero projects. That's not true. This is proof that's not true. This is not a waste of Colin Farrell's career. This is a great addition to all the work that he's already done. And this is going to be a thing that people look back on and really, really just highlights how good of an actor he is. And it shows you that with the right projects and the right writing and the right creators, you can absolutely make good superhero projects that haven't been made before. And this isn't, I guess, a quote-unquote superhero project, but it just shows you within the comic books, there's so much good source material that you can draw from and make shows like this. So this is my non-spoiler review. I'll do a spoiler review as well, but I just wanted to get this up. Thanks, guys, for watching. I highly recommend it. The Penguin on Max. I think it comes out new episodes every Thursday. Thanks, guys, for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.